What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my darky David Productions for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, we got a funny one for you, man, right now. Ben Davison, aka Ben, Mr. Miyagi's nephew. Son, probably. I think he's probably his father. The level of skill and intellect. Mr. Custy Davison. Custy. The level he has, he can't be Mr. Maggie's son, can he? He must have taught Mr. Maggie, right? So he's probably reincarnated. Is Mr. Maggie's dad? His grandfather reincarnated, man, for sure. That makes sense, right? Anyway, 2-2. He's crawled from under the rock wherever he's been posted up at. No doubt it's a big, pretty rock as well. The amount AJ been paying him. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's a good looking rock. Anyway, he's crawled out from underneath it. And essentially ends up saying, oh, there was some things that was wrong. Now, we're going to break it all down, but this is the same cat, yeah, who at the time was lyricking about, you can't run at AJ and whoop-de-whoop. He was also saying, you see the title here, we're going to get to the video, you best believe it, we can put the Usyk fight right. So Mr. We can put the Usyk fight right, Mr. Daniel Dubois can't come at us with a double jab, because he'll wind up missing somewhere, is now saying, well, actually, you know, there's things we can put right, and he has to say that. Listen, he's not as good as Eddie Hearn. He's not as good a used car salesman as Eddie Hearn, but Ben's been doing this. There's only one way you go from never trained a boxer in your damn life. There's no other way of going from teaching PE at school, football at school, at the school level, yeah, from 12 to 13 years old. You don't go from teaching PE at school to Tyson Fury's camp. That's what he did, for sure. I'm not even sure. That's a disrespect. I ain't even sure he was teaching PE at school. Yeah? You don't crawl out from wherever he crawled out from and post up with Tyson Fury if your mouth game, no diddy, ain't on point. Yeah? He whispered, Ben ain't the guy who's going to sit there and give you the apples and pears like Eddie Hearns. What he will do, though, is the type of cat who will post up in your ear and start whispering sweet nothings. Ooh, AJ, whoop-de-whoop, you know, that Usyk fight, you know, I'll fix that for you. Them ones there. He's not going to be, hey, Eddie Hearn's like, hey, apples and pears, bash. Ben's more slick with it. He's more devious with it. He's going to be whispering in your ear and whispering sweet nothings in your ear. Anyway, let's get to this is the new video that came out the other day, where he says that, well, actually, on hindsight, the camp didn't go too well.
Away with himself, so completely different from the Friday evening in Leicester Square, where he was at the away with him, fighting the build-up.
We can address that. We know where that was,
but he just looked so assured before the fight and the build-up, Ben, and coming into the ring, he looked so unassured and so away with himself, so completely different from the Friday evening in Leicester Square. Where
sorry, I'm digressing here, but Simon, yeah. Stop talking about, I don't know what. The problem with Simon is he don't know the game. Simon thinks, oh yes, I'm bringing a really edgy opinion here. I'm saying that it's because AJ looked different as he walked in. He's finished. I told you that before. Never mind walking in. He's been finished since 2019. Psychologically, man. This is the fight game. When you get punched up, Mr. Blobby can't punch, all due respect. He's okay. Jarrell Miller stood right in front of him. Couldn't punch for toffee. That Bob Arum dropped at the time, before 2019. Bob Arum dropped Andy Ruiz because he said he can't punch for toffee as a heavyweight. That's the fact, documented. AJ gets in there. Yes, listen, Ruiz can't punch. He's quick though. He hit AJ with a okie doke upside his head. Yeah. He hit him with an okie doke upside his head. Yeah, obviously, listen. God don't give you it all. AJ's clearly a specimen, but the side of his Barnet, man, is soft. It's a bit like, these two things are synonymous. Fraser Clark's jaw and the side of Johnston's Barnet. Yeah, soft. Each and the same. No matter you touch Fraser here, his jaw gonna pop out. Blow out. You touch AJ here, woo, even if you can't punch. That's just what we're dealing with here. So, Simon, cut that narrative of, oh, well, he was so good all week, and then he got in there, or he walked out. I could tell on the walkout. Where's your betting slip? Right? Show me your betting slip at 10:05 after the walkout was at 10 o'clock where you put a whole bunch on because you knew something was going left for him. You didn't know. After the fact, you knew. You didn't know. Yeah, and it's ridiculous to say you can read into that. I've seen fighters look somewhat nervous and they perform. Who cares? It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. How much you talk in the build-up or don't talk, or how you walk out. So stop that narrative now. AJ's been psychologically compromised for the best part of 60% of a decade. 2019. We're knocking in 2025 now. 6 years ago. 5.5 years ago. And he came back, and what did he do? He shit himself against Mr. Blobby. Yeah? He ran around the place, scared to death in there. He couldn't barely finish his dinner with Pulev as well, that's the truth. He made a right meal of Pulev. He hurt Pulev and then took him 10 more rounds or 8 more rounds. It was not a good look. Psychological. That's got nothing to do with walking out, how you walked out or didn't walk out. He had problems with Bumlenius as well. The only fight he looked good in was the Mbongo. Yeah, and that's why I think I don't know what I was saying. I'd like to think I wasn't sucking AJ off, but listen. We can only go based on the information we have at the time. Yeah? And he hadn't been hit yet, which is the whole point I was making at the time for sure. So well and good. Any of us can go in there, yeah? And if you catch someone in the first 2 rounds, you're going to look great. What happens when you get clipped again? Oops. He got clipped and he did better than the Ruiz fight. Yeah, he went out on his shield, to be fair to him. That's more than we can say for Fury. I don't think he could have survived on points if he'd have tried, all due respect though. He did try running, he kept getting put down. He did try running, to be fair. He wasn't actually trying to go out on his shield. He did try to run, but Dubois was too ferocious. Dubois weren't looking to do the whole faff along. Oh, there, I've hurt him now, so let's now build into it. No, he was straight on your ass, so you can't run. You can't run once you've been clipped with someone desperate to be on your ass. Pause. Anyway, let's get to the rest of the bars.
He was the epitome of confidence and assuredness. He looked the polar opposite walking into that ring.
Yeah, it's hard to say based off how he looked. I can't comment on how he walked to the ring, etc. I just know that obviously amongst ourselves we know that where some things went wrong, and
come on, man. We heard this after Ruiz won as well. After Ruiz won, I don't like all this. Yeah, and I know the Saint Luigi like all this. Yeah? Because he lived by the sword, he died by the sword. He ain't playing with OAB. Let's not do that. Let's be democratic and talk. Where they got you, man? Where they got you, man? Where that talking got you, man? Oh, YB, let's make a YouTube channel. And let's talk on here about how wrong things are. Luigi, with it, man. He ain't playing. He don't play with you, man. He done talking. That's what he said. Ain't you trying to talk? He could have set up a YouTube channel. He ain't trying to talk. Yeah? He ain't trying. He's sick done with the talking. He had enough of the talking. Oops. Yeah, the second. That's what he was on. He was on, is it the second? Call it the second, man. He was on it. Yeah? Anyway, where was I? Bash. Ben Davison. Before the Andy Ruiz 1 fight, after it, AJ's team were like, oh, well, AJ himself even said, well, I don't want to make excuses, but I'll put something in my book when I retire. You're better off not saying nothing, is the truth. Yeah? You're better off saying nothing. Don't do that. Oh, well, we know, people within the team know. Never mind, Ben. Never mind people in the team. I tell you, he's shot to bits. That's what the truth is. It don't matter what happened in camp, man. He's shot. He's finished. Psychologically, he's been finished. Yeah, it don't take someone in the camp. Whilst you might like to think it took someone in the camp to work something out, I told you that 6 months ago. X amount. Every month for the last 5 years, I told you he finished. No good. Washed up. He never really had it either, man. He had one hard fight against Vlad and came out saying, who was his trainer at the time? Rob, what's his name? Rob something. Rob McCrappen, that's it. He said to Rob, oh, Rob, teach me how not to get hit anymore because I didn't like that. Now listen, obviously no one's saying you should ever want to be hit loads. That's obviously stupid. But unfortunately, people, watch all the best fighters. None of them go into a top fight and don't get hit. So if you get hit and don't like it and you're, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to have hard fights if I can help it. Johnny Fisher at the weekend. That wasn't even a hard fight. He just got punched up. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. You made it hard. Oh, I don't really want to be having hard fights like that every time. What are you in this game for? Oh, I don't really want to kick this ball. Playing for Manchester United, I don't really like kicking balls anymore. The fuck? That is part of the game. You will hit people and you will be hit. That is it. There's nothing else this game can offer you, folks. Yeah? Too many man watched Floyd Mayweather. And even he got rocked when he was fighting half-dead people still. Mosley was half-dead, rocked him to his boots. So even people who, oh yes, Floyd's never been down. He's never been hit. He got rocked. And I have seen his hand touch the canvas before as well. They said it wasn't a knockdown, but whatever. Yeah? I thought delete that, truth be known. Anyway, too much of the Floydness has come into the game where people have this, oh yeah, Floyd never got hit. That's how you can do it. Number one, he fought all washed up dudes. If you look at old time heavyweights, all of them got hit. Even in fights they won, they got hit. Even in fights they won, they got put down. Massive shots as well. Not these new age amateur boxing shots. Watch the old timers, man. It was different. They had bad intentions. Bad and nasty, spiteful intentions. And I see him getting hit in there, and it's not like AJ gets clopped by one dude who can't punch, Mr. Blobby Double Cheese Ruiz. And he's like, like his whole life's falling apart. The old school man would just be in there, getting clipped upside their head, and it wasn't a big, they weren't choking over it. Look at Okoli as well, with his big ass, big lanky gangly looking ass. Yeah? Gets in and knocking all the bums over. He didn't even get hit by Bellingham Smith that hard. Bellingham Smith's not a massive puncher, and he's choking in there. Yeah? So, what was my point on this bar here? I can't even remember what the point was, to tell the truth to you, man. Yeah, I could sit here and speak some more and make out I remember what I was talking about. I don't remember at all. I can't remember. What was I saying? About Ruiz? Oh, either way, after Ruiz won, yeah, I could tell you, but I don't want to, I'll save it for my book. Again, here we are. Well, we know that there was, us insiders know. If you're going to say that, say it. Say what it was, at least. Yeah? Or don't say nothing at all. Trying to make out you're all coy and, oh yes, but we know the truth. I am still going to fix the Usyk fight for AJ. But you lot don't know what was... Let's see what Simon Jordan... See if he follows up there. Let's replay that bar.
Hard to say based off how he looked. I can't comment on how he walked to the ring, etc. I just know that obviously amongst ourselves we know that where some things went wrong, and it's important for us that we don't look like we're making excuses, but there was things that went wrong that we probably could have done a better job with close to the fight, in and around the fight. But
listen, man. The problem with AJ was not marginal things, Ben. I hate to break it to you. This wasn't like it was like that. You got your back blown out. No diddy. That's what happened to you. Your back got blown out. That's as simple as that. Too young, too ferocious, too with it is what you encountered that night. Yeah? That's what you encountered. That was the problem. It was nothing to do with what could you have done? In the week? Oh, well, to be fair, we could have done some things a week before the fight. Well, you weren't cutting weight, so that wasn't one of them. What else could you have done? I'll tell you what went wrong for you, Ben, at the very least. His leaky-deaky defence. That wasn't on fight week, was it? You had how many months to work on his leaky-deaky defence? Yeah? Nothing to do with fight week. Oh, there's some things that went... No. His hands was by his waist, man, and he was running in like this. That start there. Yeah? There was no mystical little things. Like, I don't know. What could he possibly be implying here was wrong? I can't even think what it would be. Was he injured? That wouldn't be a fight week thing. You could potentially do better, I wouldn't have thought. He got to the press... He was getting to the press conference. Was he getting there late? He was doing something. He was playing some sort of Klitschko game on Dubois. Making Dubois get there early. I'm sure it was maybe it was Ngannou, actually. Either way, Ngannou was complaining. He was playing all these Klitschko games. Turning up late and making Ngannou wait around. Oops. Yeah? Oops. Dubois didn't care how long he waited there or didn't wait there. He put it straight on your ass. And that's the real problem here. The only problem. AJ can't take a shot. He can't hold a shot. And number two, he don't really want it. He did okay. He went out on his back, to be fair to him. That is his saving grace. He didn't stink the place out completely. But like I said, he did try to run. He couldn't run. The ring's too small to run in there. He did try to get on his bike. Dubois was too ferocious, man. Totally ferocious. Them yard Manchurians just set him off. That's the problem. Yeah, them Yardman tunes set Danny Dioff, and it was a wrap. At that point, really, like I told you, that it's over for him. He can't handle it. The Yardman energy set Danny Dioff, man. He couldn't handle it. What he can do? What was AJ gonna do? Yeah, what was he gonna do? He couldn't do nothing in there. He couldn't do nothing. Do you understand, people? So we can sit here and I get why Ben has to do this. Like I said at the start of the video, when you're running, when you're hitting a lick on someone, especially a psychological lick, when you're psychologically conditioning people, like a lot of these trainers do, especially these ones where they pop out of nowhere and they whisper in your ear, they have to tell you, yeah, but there's something else missing that I can provide. Oh, we know there's people, me and the other insiders who are conditioning AJ's psychological state. We know because we've told him, don't worry, AJ, don't leave me because there's other things we can do. Whoop-de-whoop. Yeah, and to be fair to Ben, he does have a good stable now. So he's got a Talma who looks red hot. He's got Wardley. So it's going to be hard. AJ's not going to leave. I'm not even saying he should leave Ben. AJ was leaky deaky, man. He was the leakiest I've ever seen him. He's really leaky. That's the honest. His defense was shot. I don't know what happened to that. Had no defense at all. Basic defense as well. He's always been traditionally quite orthodox. He just comes in running, galloping in like this. I don't know. Talma fights like that as well, and Wardley does. I think they both have the low lead hand. I'm not sure it works so well at heavyweight though. I'm not sure it. At the top levels, I'm not sure the leaky deaky works so well at heavyweight. The smaller guys can do it because they can afford to be hit. The bigger guys, you can, especially AJ's low lead hand defense is super leaky. If you watch the old school, man, their backhand, they'll do a lot of catching with it. AJ just has it here, so he's got his backhand stuck by his chest, and he's not even brought his shoulder up. He's just posted there with his chops in the air, walking forward. So he hasn't got the coordination. I've been saying that. AJ's the type of cat, yeah, where you drill him like this, sucked in here, because he ain't going to know how to do the yeah, like Holyfield or Tony. He's not going to have that. He's 35, Eddie. He's not still learning now, I'm afraid. Eddie, listen, I know you'd like to believe he's still learning. He's not. Yeah, he's a grown-ass man now. Well, he's knocking on to old in the sports game. Yeah, he's well seasoned. If you don't get it now, he's never going to get it. The best chance for him is nice and narrow and tight and keep your head down. That's the best you can hope for. Super basic. You can't go wrong here. Yeah, all them. Look at Fury. He's supposed to have all the IQ and all the frills. How did that work out for him? Clipped by Wilder. Clipped by Mbongo. Clipped by Usyk. Clipped by Cunningham. So really, Mr. IQ Fury with a great defense is being clipped more than anyone else, or as much as anyone else. So all that thing, I think it's overrated. I think the leaky deaky defense is overrated. Oh yeah, but you can do the movement. Okay. And if you can't do the movement, if you're stiff as a board like AJ, what happens then? You just got low hands and your chin's in the air. But I think Ben Davison's clearly got Wardley and Talman. They both have a low lead hand. They both do that, so I think that might be his little shtick now. And even when Ben was with Fury, he trained Fury to have the low lead. So there's possibly a trend here. He likes the whole stay. And it makes sense. His shtick is the mystical. Yeah, stay loose, and we're gonna cut this and cut this angle, and we're gonna roll off, and we're gonna babash. Stay loose so you can count. I think I've seen him in videos of AJ saying that. Yeah, stay loose so you can step back. Bash. It is what it is at this point. It wouldn't be what I'd try and get AJ to be doing, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm not saying Ben's the worst guy, but this is definitely a grift he's running. There was nothing wrong with AJ's fight week, people. I think Simon Jordan was the one saying, he might have said on Monday after the fight, but on Friday he was saying, it's AJ's house. I remember doing videos on it. They was all saying, well, this is AJ's house. Dubois never been in Wembley. That's what Simon Jordan said. He said, Dubois is going to choke because he don't know what it's like. This is AJ's house. Then after the fight, well, actually, I saw the way AJ looked in the ring. Oh, come on, man. On the ring walkout. Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let me see the Talk Sport reaction after the press conference and you're telling me this is AJ's house and AJ's based and AJ's calm and AJ this, whoop-de-whoop. Then after the fight, well, I saw this. Come on, people. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. In Simon Jordan's mind, it was the fact that there was a change between the Thursday press conference and the Friday or the Saturday walkout. No, it wasn't. That didn't actually happen. He was the same guy, obviously. Anyway, let's replay this part again, or listen to some more.
Looked, I can't comment on how he walked to the ring, etc. I just know that obviously, amongst ourselves, we know that where some things went wrong, and it's important for us that we don't look like we're making excuses, But there was things that went wrong that we probably could have done a better job with, close to the fight, in and around the fight. But look, you can sometimes say those things and come out victorious. So you can't point the blame. We've got to own it. We've got to wear it.
Sure.
And that's what we've done. We've not made any excuses, and I think that's part of.
Well, I'm sorry, folks. Saying, there's some things wrong. I guess you have to, as a trainer, even if you had a great camp, you have to still win or lose. You have to critique the camp. So was it necessarily an excuse? It's the way he does it. Oh yeah, there's a few things we know. We the team know there's a few things. Implies it's bigger. There's something big there, like an injury, for example. Otherwise, you just say, yeah, in camp, he had leaky defense. That's what Ben Davison should have come out and said, man. Hey, listen, my name's Ben Davison. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got carried away with Moses Talma. I got carried away with Fabio Wardley. And I trained AJ to be leaky deaky. That's what you should probably be honest. We all saw it. Let's call a spade here. At this level, it was one of the leaky deakiest I've ever seen. Let's call a spade here. Call me a liar. I've never seen nothing like him. He came, in that 5th round here, he came galloping forward like this. Hands like this. Just galloping in, man. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. No fiscal responsibility from AJ. Just galloping in like a horse, man. Jesus. Oh.
It's easy to ride high when and jump all over it when you're riding high, but unfortunately we took a loss and we've got to own it, wear it, stand up to it and take it on the chin.
Fair enough. Ben, thank you very much indeed. Good luck.
Alright, before I go, I just want to play this bar as well from Mr. Miyagi. This was before the fight, which is an interesting contrast. Before the fight, this is what he said.
Dubois to take the volume of punches, which is all in hindsight, against Joshua that he did against Hrgovic, that this could be kind of a different situation for Dubois. I mean, look, we know that you're a student of the game. You know all this stuff we're saying to you anyway. But just talk to me about those kind of comments.
I just get. It's hard for me to go into complete detail, to even be enthusiastic about explaining these things. But just very simply, people.
Bars like that imply he's like on another level. I can't even be enthusiastic of explaining the magic we've got going on. It's just too over your heads to know that the guy's going to come galloping in like a horse with his hands by his waist. Come on.
Keep going on about double jab, can't counter if it's a double jab. And Ngannou, when he got dropped and countered, threw a double jab. Like, I think that, yes, Dubois can take a lot of confidence from the fights, his last couple of fights. Same with Ngannou, took a lot of confidence from the Fury fight. I think that when they fight Joshua, they seem to think that, if we're aggressive, he's an unbelievable counter-puncher. And I think that if anybody thinks that they can just come in and start winging punches at AJ, they very quickly find out, as Ngannou did.
Aside from the power which obviously Dubois possesses, what are your concerns going into this fight?
I'm not going to go into the ins and outs, but like I say, I'm very confident. We're very familiar with Dubois, as is AJ, and he knows what he needs to do.
Are you taking anything from Dubois' last performances that gives you any issue for concern? I'm just asking, from the Miller fight, whether it's the Hrgovic fight, are you taking anything that happened in there that gives you concern going into this fight?
Yeah, I think that he's a top quality heavyweight. He's a heavyweight champion of the world, so, very familiar with Dubois. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs, but like I say, I'm very confident.
So he was very confident on fight week. And now he got, actually, on hindsight, there's things that we team knew was wrong. Classic excuse / pitch for the next camp. Yeah, and this is obviously the other one. I haven't even timed, but let's just see it here probably.
Up a little bit there, and so was Anthony Joshua, but assess that performance for me right now.
Executional, professional, well prepared. That's how I put it.
I mean, you had 6 weeks to well, the announcement of this fight was 6 weeks. We don't know how long AJ's been in your camp for, or been in your gym, but not a lot of time. And you've seen AJ, you've seen his mindset. A lot was made of his mindset, but leading up to this fight, what was going through his mind?
You have to ask him. I can't tell you. All I know is that very professional to work with. It was very enjoyable, and yeah, I'm pleased that the work he got the fruits from his labour.
Obviously, he gave you a lot of props in there. He says you're a good addition.
Every fight's fight by fight with any fighter, I think. So step by step.
Well, obviously, Anthony Joshua, man, like I said to you, he's Deontay Wilder lost against Parker and Usyk, but what a performance that was. It was
Gold medal against the Southpaw, beat Zhang in the Olympics as well. So yeah.
Obviously, the Wilder fight, there was a lot made of that fight, but it seemed like everyone in the ring all about himself. Now, again, I don't know if
To him from the very, very start, me and Wiley would love to put the Usyk fight right for him.
fight next.
Just off emotion, I said to him from the very, very start, me and Wiley would love to put the Usyk fight right for him, just purely off emotion. And I said to him when he first came, I'm very confident we can help him do that, put that fight right.
Have you seen something?
Come on, man, listen. As much as Dubois has changed, we have to give Usyk credit, yeah? I know you can say, well, boxing, you can't do boxing triangles and styles make fights, but there's nothing I saw. Yeah, if you're trying to catch Usyk with a pullback backhand, a drop and backhand, you ain't gonna never catch him with that ever. Not in a month for Sundays. So if that was your big trick, you didn't even I did a breakdown on it already before the Dubois fight. You didn't even bust up Wallen, to tell the truth. A moody southpaw, a knock-off southpaw, a D-level southpaw. Didn't even bash him up. You really didn't bash him up. Most of the fight, you was scared to death in there of Wallen. He was posturing and faffing around. I did a video on it. He was just choking in there with Wallen. You got lucky with it. Wallen didn't want to fight. Wallen was just coming in and shit himself. To be honest, watch that fight back. Nothing to do with me. Seriously, I watched it myself. I rewatched it. He's in there. Even when he rocks Wallen, he's just waiting and not letting anything go. Scared to death. So to think after beating Wallen, you're going to put the Usyk fight right. Again, we understand he has to say that, but it's just a bit, especially after the Dubois fight, it's a bit like, come on, bro. Let's get serious here. Let's get serious. You're lost in the sauce. And again, fair play to him. He's done well with Talma so far. We'll have to see. Talma ain't been hit back yet. Is he that good? He'll never be hit back yet. Time will tell. And that's why I tell you, man. I don't really get on the bandwagon of no one these days until I've seen him hit back and come through some adversity. There's no point. Don't get invested at all. Because a lot of these new age guys, Whittaker, Johnny Bash, whoever you want, the minute they get touched, Johnny fought hard, but it just exposes their level. Until you've seen them get touched, there's no point. There's really no point. Because fingers can look really great. They get touched or in a bit of a difficulty and it completely changes. Fighting when you're confident is a whole different ball game to fighting when you got doubt. It's a completely different sport. Being on top and knocking dudes out in one round is completely different to, oh, it's round 5, I'm knackered, and me and this guy going life and death. Two different sports. Anyone from Joe Public could get in the ring and be that much better than someone, they knock him out in one round. Even Mike Tyson to some extent found this. Yeah, Mike Tyson, when he was coming up and knocking, everyone was scared to death of him, like Spinks and Burbick. It was all great. He started getting some pushback. Whoever you want, Buster Douglas, even Mitch Green, to be honest. That fight was really close with Mitch Green. Tyson for the last 5 rounds was just falling in and clinching because he was goosed. It's a complete different sport. Yeah, anyone really can get in there and knock someone's head off. Taking shots and having to find a way and adapt is a complete different game. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like for the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this from people. Stop it.